Welcome to the F1 Money Gang podcast. We are back. It is post summer break, feels like an eternity. And here we are, guys. But before we get started, this segment is brought to you by our partners, Underdog Fantasy Sports. F1 Money Gang is the promo code, 100% deposit match with our promo code or the link. Grid Rivals as well, one of our big partners who does a lot of fantasy leagues and soon to be pick'ems. And I feel like I'm missing other people. BetStamp is another one. And I don't know. I think we got like 4 or 5 different partners, but let's get into it. That's neither here nor there. We want to get into the race week. Before we get into it, Zandvoort, this track. Yeah, I mean, this one is going to be kind of similar to what a Hungary. I know there's different comparisons. So we're talking about a higher downforce track. So pretty, medium to medium high, even downforce, maybe higher even than that. So tires are going to be very critical. They're bringing the hardest compounds. So the C1, C2, C3. But yeah, has a couple bankings, which is going to be very critical to a lot of teams. But yeah, here we are. I got Renegade and Tegrity Bets with us. What's going on, guys?
What's up?
Summer
break. It's over.
Yes. Seriously, it feels like an eternity. However, we did have a very active summer break. We did have IndyCar. We had NASCAR. For our American listeners, the NFL preseason kicked off. I know that a bunch of us were pretty excited about that. We were very active. And I actually had a very awesome 2.5 weeks thanks to the F1 Money Gang, who were just posting plays left and right. Mech and I were just dominating the NFL preseason. I expect regression to come now.
No, man, definitely not. Right into full head of steam.
Yeah,
yeah, man. It was we stayed busy all summer break. It was good. IndyCar did us really well.
Oh, IndyCar definitely. Yeah,
football is fantastic for being preseason. I'll take it. But yeah,
yeah, and I know we're more interested in F1, but there is 3 weeks left. I think 3 races left for IndyCar, so that's coming to a close. If you want any of the IndyCar content, come to Tegrity Bets. Chris, myself, we will have that for you. And then Renegades, our ponies expert. So if you ever want the ponies, he's got his own hustle going with that. So if you can subscribe to him, I don't know how much it is. I don't know what the tiering is. I don't want to ruin his streak after I tried to follow him and he went broke after I started tailing him.
It's true.
So, all right, let's get into it. Races this Friday. Excited. I'm excited, but I'm also torn. I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to watch most of these sessions, or probably will try. But let's get into Free Money Friday. We got to kick it off there, man. It's been so long. What's something you've been eyeing? I know we've talked about it actually, and I think I actually tailed it already. So
yeah, we got a couple some good plus odds, which is nice for a change. You don't really have to go out of your way and spend some money on some FP1 shenanigans. First play that jumped out to me was Lando top 3. That's priced at plus 160. I think it's going anywhere from 165 to 160. Hungary was really good for McLaren, and the car setup they have right now, just in general, and they really seem like the second fastest car on the grid. So at plus 165, it's kind of, it's practice, so of course treat it like practice. But with McLaren and the results he had at Hungary and that car, I got no shame in it. We're gonna go. It's like a unit and a quarter, I think, to win. However that bounces out. And then a nice little hedge. I saw George Russell top 3. You can get him at plus 500. Mercedes has been tricky in practice. They will look dead the entire time, and then with 2 minutes left, here comes Lewis or Russell, one of the two, on some softs and just blow everybody out. But Russell had some really good success here last year, so kind of just piggybacking off of that and trying to get some magic. But at plus 500, you can put like 0.2 on there and get your unit back if Lando doesn't happen. I mean, but Lando Russell 2-3, we're looking real good.
Yeah,
And
no. Oh,
yeah,
go ahead.
go ahead.
Go ahead. No,
Oh
no, no.
yeah, but head wise, I like the Ocon over Gasly. This is not really a track that Gasly's had the best success in. Ocon's just kind of been Ocon. It's been kind of hard to find previous FP1s where they both have either finished or ran this year. But when they do, Ocon's had a slight advantage over him. Pretty good advantages, actually. Right now, that's a minus 135. So feel good about that one as well. Not going to go too heavy on it, still practice. But yeah, it's not really impressed with Pierre's performances here in the past. And Ocon's done fairly well. So pretty good, pretty confident about that one.
I like that. Yeah, and I think the Ocon wanted to say DraftKings. I don't know if all of can be, but DraftKings, I saw that last night, was around minus 145 for that.
I got a 135.
Or is it 135? Okay. But yeah, I want to go back to the Russell. That's one of my favorites. That's definitely, you know what is funny is that has been at 6-1 most of the year until they actually, like you said, in that trend, they will do their long stint run in the beginning. You'll see them. And they even did this last year at the Dutch GP. They did like 18 laps on hards before they said, all right, we're going to slap on the softs, and last like 2 minutes before they took the top of the time. And they've been doing that over and over again in just about most of these practice sessions. So 5-1 definitely is a nice number.
He pulled a P1 here, FP1 last year.
Yeah.
I think he had a couple of top threes as well. So
yeah, and it's like 4-1 on some books, even for that top three. Lewis Hamilton is 3-1. So I get why they may be like bearish on Russell, because he has been kind of finicky with the car this year, at least. But it still doesn't justify that he has those long odds, right? For a top three. We're talking about a top three too. So
yeah, it's not like he has to win.
Yeah, knowing that strategy. So definitely something I definitely love that. And the Lando Norris play, which I do want to get Renegade's input on McLaren here in a second. But look, Norris top three, right? I mean, how many times have we seen him just top the chart at some point in these FP sessions, especially here recently with the car the way it is? This car should suit them well. It is a low, higher downforce track. Drag efficiency isn't going to be as big of a concern. I know that they struggle on the straights, but I don't think this straight is going to be something that will hinder them as much as or I want to say last week, but the last race where the Spa just had a bunch of just straights where it was going to kill him. So,
and even in his like shit box he had last year, he still did fairly well. Had some 5s, some 4s, so I mean, not terrible.
Yeah, no, it's not terrible. But yeah, Renegade. Before we get to a pick, what are your thoughts on the McLaren this weekend? What do you think they're going to do?
I think it should be much, much better than Spa. I don't know what happened there. I mean, how can you get set up that wrong that somehow like the Hasses are overtaking you? You're on the hard tires. I mean, that was a disaster.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been interesting to see what Piastri would have done because he looked a bit stronger that weekend. But yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. He had he just turned into on turn 1. That's right.
Yeah,
forgot about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But they've done well at Silverstone, at Austria, at Hungary. I mean, they're different enough tracks, and this should be one that suits them the most.
Yeah.
So they should be having a good weekend.
Give me that confidence, baby. Give me that confidence. Yeah. No, I like that. Cool. Well, so we got one free money Friday out of the way. Do you have a free money Friday by chance or no?
No.
Okay.
Race guy right here.
Yeah. This guy is dialed in. All right. So tell me what you got? What do you got for this weekend? What's your favorite?
So I've got already some bets out. Just I think double Mercedes, double top 6 Mercedes is pretty good. The Mercedes did quite well at Hungary. and it's a quite similar track, just a bit of slopes and stuff like that, and banking. And yeah, I think that's a good shot. But I think one nearer the race is if George Russell doesn't qualify well, or like Leclerc is in front of Hamilton, because this is a very high tire stress race. I want to get a car that's good on its tires ahead of a car not good at its tires. So maybe Russell over sign something like that.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think even I was looking at a parlay for Hamilton to beat Russell and Leclerc to beat Sainz, because they're both much better than their teammates at tire management. And I think, like, especially at this track, it will help a lot.
Yeah. No. Yeah. This is fun this weekend, and I'm kind of pissed I'm not going to be here for this weekend too, because we literally just had a track that has very similar characteristics 2 races ago. So we have a very good benchmark on a lot of these cars going into this race. We have an understanding what we're 3/4 through the season. We understand these teams with how they're going to operate with their tires. And Mercedes just seems to they always have a way to preserve their tires. They just always know. We know that Ferrari tends to struggle. We know that Haas tends to struggle, and that's always proven week in, week out. And I actually love that play. That's why I tailed it as soon as you brought it up, especially at what it was at plus 110, or wait for you, Renegade, 2.1, I think it was.
Yeah.
2.1. So it was just an easy pick. It was easy for me to just say, oh yeah, this should definitely be in their favor for Mercedes. So yeah, I loved it. So I tailed that too. I love it.
It's just really George Russell on that one. Just hope he can get a decent qualifier.
I mean, it's interesting because everything has flipped this year a little bit, because last year Hamilton was struggling with the W13 most of the year until he kind of found some form. Russell seemed fine with that car. Like, well, they both hated it, but he seemed to adapt better to that car than this year. He seems to be struggling to adapt in certain sessions, but then he puts in like some burner in FP3 or in qualifying. He just does a shitty lap. Although I will say there's been a few times I don't know, just traffic or something got in the way. But yeah, he can't fuck up this one. This is a track, if they can just get it right, get the qualifying right, get in that top 6, be in the top 5, you give yourself a chance to be second or third. It's funny. This is what we're talking about now, second or third place. We already know who's going to get first place. So
come on.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Well, let's get right into mine. I think my pick, I will start with a free money Friday. So full disclosure, I did tail Tegrides. I mean, that I think we're all kind of in that, we're towards the end of the season. We're all aligned on a lot of these plays. That those were 2 that I did as well, which was the top 3 Norris and the top 3. Again, when I do those, I did the same thing, right? Just about, I think I did a quarter unit on, what's it called? On Russell. So, yeah. As I was scoping the lines, Bovada gave us some gifts. They give us some non-teammate head-to-head. There was a few out there, which I would love to talk to you guys about. But the one that caught my attention, this one is fun for me, at least. I may be sweating it. I probably won't be sweating it because I'll be asleep. Charles Leclerc over Sergio Perez. FP1 minus 110, 1.9 for, I think I did about 0.75 units. So I guess my rationale is forget about the race, forget about sprint races. I removed all that when I was just looking at the past 3 races, and basically Leclerc has beaten Perez in every FP session, every sprint qualifying session, about 68% of the times in the last 3 races. Last year in the Dutch GP, he beat him 5 out of the 6 sessions. Again, I'm not worried about the race. I'm just worried about, will he win in FP1? I just found it very hard to believe that the odds should be that way. I guess the only reason why is because he's in a Red Bull. And what has given me confidence to say Perez is going to be, topping the charts in FP? He hasn't shown that. If anything, Norris has shown that more than Perez. So I shamed myself into taking it. I took it. I felt really good about it. And I actually kind of talked myself into it more, just saying if this hits, I'm going to be way more upset than I would be if it didn't hit and I was backing it. So talked myself into it. I did it. So also Camby, I did see they had it priced at Leclerc minus 122 actually on Camby. So I thought there's a little value to it. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I don't hate it. I mean, like, Charles has been quick all year. It's just the longevity of that car that kills him every single time. But when it comes to qualifying and FP sessions, I mean, he's right up there with anybody. Yeah. Also, we got found out today Carlos is not running.
Oh yeah, that's another thing.
They might want something more to Charles early, because the rookie's just going to cruise around and try to get his feet wet. So they might want to push Charles a little bit. Yeah, makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, Renegade. I know you, my therapist, F1 therapist.
I know, I like it.
You like
it? We know Perez doesn't do anything most of the time in free practice one.
I like it.
Never too bad.
That means if we all like it, it's not going to hit. Boom. No, there is actually really some good ones. Before we get into any other ones, I would love to pick y'all's brain on a few of them, because I could not stop noodling about these. Specifically, this one was Lance Stroll, and this is FP1, by the way. Lance Stroll, Esteban Ocon, minus 115. I believe MGM also has that same play. But there's this minus 120 each. And then Camby actually had Stroll at minus 127 over Pierre Gasly minus 109. What do you guys think about that one?
So what side do you want to take?
What's that?
Stroll over both Alpines, pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. Stroll over Alpines in FP1 session.
Why Stroll?
I don't know. I got excited. I went to Bovado last night when I was logging in. I was like, what the hell? We have non-teammate head-to-head and it's a Tuesday? Like, I'm not used to that. So that was just one that popped up and I was just curious. I'm not taking it. I've kind of had interest for a little bit, but just curious. Just wanted to see.
Maybe against Ocon, I'd say, because he doesn't really do much in FP1 either, does he?
He does more Gasly.
He does.
Yeah, or you could do Gasly over Ocon.
Because I think, Esteban. Okay, well, let's go to another one then very quickly. Russell, even money over Piastri, who's minus 130.
That was tough. I don't know. I mean, Oscars just look so strong, and they're both I think those are probably my two, three teams to be watching for the weekend. So it's kind of hard to pick one over the other because it's almost like a coin flip. Who's gonna run the best that day? I wouldn't bet any money on it.
I'm not touching it. That's why I'm going through this round table. Renegade, do you have any opinions?
No, I agree. It's just a coin flip, that one.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
I'll say with the Aston Martin, like, I'm back to that though. I believe they're doing some more tinkering with the front wing, so they might not be going too hard.
Okay. Well, how about this then? Lando Norris, Hamilton, FP1 again. These are all FP1. Minus 115.
I don't know. It's back on the coin flip.
I'd
like to have a better number than that.
I'm
what's
just curious.
The Lando side though? What's the
They're
Lando
both they're both minus 115.
Oh, like a pick 'em? Nah.
Yeah, it's basically Basically, you're just gonna give the books juice.
Yeah. Nah, I feel like you just gotta get lucky picking the right one. I don't
All right.
really think there's a
That's-
strategy behind that.
Okay. Okay. Well, that's enough FP1 for one segment. Let's move on. Let's talk
Get
a
some
little.
qualifying.
Yeah. Let's talk a little qualifying. I don't have any qualifying picks or anything like that, but
Yeah.
well,
I
let's
never do, so-
let's see. Let's see. Let's go with your next pick. Let's go with your next place. So you go, Chris.
For qualifying, I got nothing. I mean, it's not
Or just
nothing-
anything. Race, whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I really like Renegade's double Mercedes for top 6.
It's a good one. Man. It's a good one.
I think really it's going to come down to trying to find some head-to-heads because there's really just not much here. The books are just, I mean, we're halfway through. There's just not too much value. I mean, if you like a double Aston, I think they had a good number.
Yeah, actually, that was one of them I played.
I don't think that's a bad one. Like, can't expect. Like, I don't really think Alpine should be much a threat. Alpha, they're not going to do anything. Unless Nico comes up to his old tricks at Haas, probably should.
Well,
should
so
move.
Haas has. I mean, I'm not saying they're gonna do anything in the race, but they do have upgrades coming. So I would be very interested to see, do those upgrades actually do anything to their tire deck?
Yeah.
I don't care about their performance because
Is
we
it
know that
upgrades like getting like a fake carbon filter on your
I
car to
don't
make it
know.
look cool?
Maybe
Like, is this the
they
boss way?
they just put like extra treads on the tires or something. I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know. That'd be interesting to see what could upgrade. I figured they'd be done already.
Yeah. No, I think that I think it sounds like there's a consensus here that we're saying, obviously we know Max number 1, but then you have McLaren and Mercedes basically in that top tier, maybe Mercedes with an edge. We'll see what you both think. And then Aston Martin, Ferrari.
I think Ferrari would be Aston Martin, really. Because it takes a lot to suddenly go backwards and then go forward, and then everyone else
Yeah.
to stand
No,
still.
but in the race,
go even
in the
more
race, in the race.
forward. No. Yeah, in the race.
Yeah. Mhm.
Because
I don't know. I mean, we're expecting
Ferrari
these tires to
finished-
fall off pretty fast, right?
Ferrari finished 7th
I mean-
and 8th at Hungary. Yeah.
Here's the way I put it. Ferrari and Aston Martin are kind of in their own tier right now. And if you can get good odds for both to be within the top 10, meaning like they're plus odds, I think that starts becoming some true value. So obviously it kind of also depends on the track, but it becomes true value. I mean, we did that, one of the races, last race, right? Ferrari top 10 was like plus 135 or something ridiculous.
I think
Uh,
that's the
last
last
one.
one.
Or was it well, this race
Yeah.
we did, at least you did you do that too, Renegade? Because I did the top 10. I did top 10.
Yeah, I think I
Aston
did
Martin.
double Aston Martin.
Yeah. And it moved right as soon as we did it. See, look what we did. We just moved the books, man. Yeah. But
And run it again. But yeah.
yeah, I think but also Bovada has Stroll top 10 minus 150. And I mean, I don't know if you want to take that. You could take Russell minus 150 top 6. Those are some plays you can consider.
I also was seeing that with the Haas teammate head to head, that Magnussen is quite a bit shorter, and I think it's because Hulkenberg hasn't done this track before. So, but I'd still take Hulkenberg because
Yeah, I was looking at that
speaking
one as
about
well.
tires, that Haas is gonna
Is that for
have no
race?
tires at the end.
Is that for the
I
race?
think both race and qualifying.
Yeah, because I
can
see
be,
lights out F1 has Hulkenberg over Magnussen qualifying.
Qualifying, yeah.
Minus 182s.
Yeah.
And then I'm just going down the list here. See, Jen Christian maybe has something with that. He has a parlay. He has Verstappen over Perez and Hulkenberg over Magnussen for the race. Oh no, qualifying parlay. So he has a parlay. So yeah. There's yeah, I don't know how Hulkenberg's going to do here. Although this type of track though, it's actually a pretty fun track. I don't know if you ever picked it up on the sim and just
Oh, it's one of my
drove
favorites
it.
in the sim.
It's actually a lot of fun. It's not
Yeah.
hard to kind of get adapted to. So I can only imagine if you're a seasoned F1 driver like a Hulkenberg, it shouldn't take them long. The problem is going to be is the few issues you will see this weekend are the wind. That's always going to be a factor there because it's right off the freaking ocean, or is it ocean, sea, wherever?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just going to, the winds are just going to be coming from all over the place. And that's going to definitely disrupt a lot of the cars out there. Then you have the dust, the sand, and the dirt that's going to hit the track.
Flares.
So what's that?
Flares.
Yeah.
Orange flares.
Yeah. It's just basically traction is going to be tough. And
what do we think about Red Bull fastest pit stop -120?
Ooh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Because I mean, Max is not going to have a 40-second lead. So they are the best pit crew. It's not like they can just take their time. Got to be a little quick this time.
Here's a prize pick play for you by Lights Out F1. He has prize pick pit stops. Russell over 2.95 seconds. Hulkenberg over 3.2 seconds. Damn. I know. Ricardo under 2.85 seconds. So he likes the over on that. Damn, man. I mean, I trust everything he does on those pick'ems. He's lights out with those pick'ems. That's why he's lights out. Yeah. So he has, I don't know about that. I'm not gonna even try to handicap pit stops. That's lights out. That's all him.
Yeah, it sounds like. I mean, it makes sense in theory. I guess they are the best crew. Not gonna have the time to sit around and wait.
Yeah.
Max wanted to pull in to get some pit stop practice the other day, the other race.
Probably. Well, I know we're trying to wrap up here, so let's go one more time. See what we didn't even really fully talk about in our second play. So let's just round table quickly. What do you have for as a second play? Nothing. Maybe.
I guess. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go.
Oh, I know you have some. Talk about the Joseph Newgarden.
Oh,
that's the one you need to play. You need to talk about right now.
Yeah, I don't. Unfortunately, we haven't got the Indy odds yet. Or I'd already have it in the book. But yeah, Max Verstappen parlayed with Joseph Newgarden. That's like my favorite play of the weekend, probably. We got the F1 God with the IndyCar Oval God.
It doesn't get any better. It hit last time.
Not much else to say. Yeah, it hit very easily last time. Paid out very well too.
So for anyone that's never followed F or IndyCar or anything like that, IndyCar is doing their short oval race this weekend. It's one of the 3 or 4 that they have on the calendar. And the Penske car has dominated in ovals.
Yeah, she's so good.
Joseph Newgarden specifically has been the king of ovals. The last time we had an oval race, which was about a month ago, we all decided, hey, let's just parlay Max with Joseph Newgarden this weekend. We all did it. It hit. It was sweat-free.
Wet-free. Yeah, it was so easy.
It was easy. So we're just going to run it back. If you want to try to tail, look for IndyCar, Joseph Newgarden winner, parlay it with Max winner, and that's it.
Yep. Basically turns your -300 Max bet to like almost damn near positive.
Yeah.
So it's great.
There you go. That's the perfect one. I like it. Renegade, you have another play, I'm sure.
I do. So one thing that I like to do every race now, nearly, is like Max fastest qualifier, fastest lap, and race win. So here, I'll give it that he could be out qualified. But if you like them three, it's plus 175. You can take just race win and fastest lap, which is around minus 120. He's going to get fastest lap and he's going to get the race win. The only way it can't happen is DNF. So like at Spa, Sainz and Piastri took each other out. Massive gap. Norris was doing something else and finished behind Alonso. Like, they're quite well equally spread out, the top 10. So there shouldn't be any pit window or anything crazy like that. So, and Max likes, I'm sure in his head there's something about records or fastest lap. This is home Grand Prix. He's going to try and get all three. So that's what I like.
Yeah, you know, I'm gonna
Makes
have
a
to
lot of
try it.
sense.
It does. It does.
Makes a lot
It
of
does.
sense.
It does, man. It does. As for me, I already called it out. I'm just doing right now the Aston Martin top 10, both Aston Martin in the top 10. Just waiting for Stroll to basically disappoint and make me cry this weekend. But honestly, that was the first one that glared at me. I thought there was a little value to it. And I think it was the last 7 races. I think Stroll has been in the top 10, 5 out of the 7. So I'm okay with that. It's worth the risk, especially with a track like this. They do have a draggy car, but it shouldn't matter as much here. Braking is going to be very critical at this track. They seem to have a car that's pretty generally good with braking. So I'm going to just basically ride that top 10. As far as what I will do this weekend, we'll see. I'm hoping to capture some data points. I definitely would like to attack the head-to-head market on Sunday, for Sunday, that is. But as of right now, that's really all I had. Let's just take it easy, see what the news gives us. And I don't even know what the latest weather report is. So we've been hearing rain, hearing that it's going to be clear. Either way, prepare yourselves. It's race week. Guys, any last comments?
No.
Nope. Yeah, I think the
Good
weather's
luck.
like at 35%, 40%, but no one ever knows.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I hope. Yeah. Well,
I
hope
don't think I think it's been since May since we've had no rain.
I think
Something like that.
said we've had 7 races, or the past 7 races with weather implications.
Yeah.
Isn't that crazy? Every
been
week,
real fun.
like, oh my God, what are we going to do? How we can do this, whatever. But yep, I'm looking forward to it. But I will see you guys probably after the weekend, because I will be in Daytona watching NASCAR, out of all things.
Yeah, show off the Mohawk again.
Yeah, you know,
Got the lightning bolts on the side.
I'm
built
built
speed.
for speed, baby. Built for speed. All right, take it easy, guys.
See you.
All right, see you.